Hey everybody, it's the Jimmy Dore Show. I'm Aaron Mate, here with Scott Ritter, former Marine Corps intelligence officer and UN weapons inspector. And right now there is allegations being slung back and forth between between Ukraine and Russia over allegations of plans for a dirty bomb. Russia has accused Ukraine of planning to set up a dirty bomb. Ukraine has returned the allegation. So here is the head of the IAEA announcing a upcoming UN investigation.
One of the main things I wanted to come and say and confirm is that the allegations have been made, inspections are on the way. And this is basically what we need to do. We have to undertake this work at these two facilities that were mentioned over the weekend as places where allegedly work to divert nuclear material for the fabrication of a radiological device would be taking place. So this is what we are going to be doing. I needed to have an invitation from Ukraine. This was secured, so we are going to go there to establish the situation. One of the places we had visited in September, the research and development facility near Kiev. We had visited with good result. So we are going to revisit it, in this case with a different kind of work, because normally our inspections are looking for nuclear material. So we are going to be performing a different kind of work to determine whether the fuel there has been reprocessed in some way to extract this.
How long do you think you will need to reach a conclusion? Weeks, months?
Days.
So here is the foreign minister of Ukraine. He says, I spoke to Secretary Blinken. We both agreed Russia's dirty bomb disinformation campaign might be aimed at creating a pretext for a false flag operation. We also discussed further practical steps to boost Ukraine's air defense. Secretary Blinken affirmed the U.S. spares no effort to this end. Scott Ritter, our guest, you are a former UN weapons inspector. What do you make of these allegations of dirty bomb use, and what is a dirty bomb?
A dirty bomb is basically high explosive that has been impregnated with radiological materials, radioactive materials. It's not a nuclear bomb. When it blows up, the only force of the explosion you have is that produced by the high explosive. There is no fission, so there is no nuclear reaction taking place. Dirty bombs don't work. We know that. I know that. I investigated a dirty bomb. I'm one of the few people that actually has done that. The Iraqis in 1987 built 4 of them and tested them. These were airdrop munitions, 1,000-pound bombs that were had a core of zirconium-95, which is a radioactive element. And the idea was to blow up the bomb. The zirconium would then disperse in flakes, and you'd get radioactive contamination that could kill Iranian soldiers who were there and prevent Iranians from moving through it. The idea is to create a belt that stopped Iranian offenses. They tested 2 of them, dropping them. What they found is that in order to get a lethal dose of radiation, you had to be within 10 meters of the point of impact of the 1,000-pound bomb. And I'm here to tell you, if you're 10 meters away from a 1,000-pound bomb going off, radiation isn't what killed you. It's the high explosive. The bomb didn't work. The Iraqis realized this, and they terminated the program. Israel replicated the same result between 2010 and 2014. They carried out 20 live detonations of dirty bombs in different configurations. They reached the same conclusion. The dirty bombs just don't contaminate. They don't spread the radiation. They don't work. But they are a psychological weapon. Terrorists have tried to do this. There were 2 attempts against Russia in 1995, 1998, where radiological material was attached to high explosive, one in a Moscow park, the other one in a rail track in Chechnya. Al-Qaeda, we know, had plans for a dirty bomb. They apparently talked to a guy named Jose Padilla about it. He came back to the United States and was arrested, although they didn't bring up the dirty bomb in the trial that convicted him. So dirty bombs are there. They're part of the lore, but they're, frankly speaking, they don't make any sense. And you know who knows they don't make any sense? The Russians. So the idea that Russia would use a dirty bomb, a false flag for what? I mean, what is Russia false flagging? So it makes no sense. There's not. Who could use a dirty bomb? The Ukrainians theoretically could. create, according to the Russians, they were going to take a Tochka U missile, put a radiation device on it, fire it, shoot it down. The warhead would detonate, spread radioactive material, and they would say Russia tried to launch an Iskander missile with a nuclear warhead against Ukraine, but we shot it down, but here's the proof. That's the scenario that Russia has played out. I'm not saying that the Russians are accurate. I'm not saying that their intelligence is good. I will tell you this as an intelligence officer, though. You oftentimes are called upon to make decisions based upon incomplete information. And when I reverse engineer the Russian scenario, a couple things stand out. It seems to me that they have a source on the inside in President Zelensky's office who can ascertain the potential of intent. Did the president's office give instructions to carry out something like this? If the Russians are saying so, there's something in there, a human source. The other thing is the specificity of the design, which means they're probably intercepting communications between an authority and the offices that are charged with doing this. Now, a lot of times there's communications that take place about the theory, about could this be done? How would we do this if we were to do this? I don't know the stage of these conversations. I'm just saying that you don't get the Minister of Defense of Russia to pick up the phone and call Lloyd Austin, call Ben Wallace, call other senior officials to play propaganda games. At that level, it's about deconfliction. At that level, it's about preventing a war. That's what was going on. So the Russians believed what they had. They believed it was credible enough to warrant this phone call. But it's a stupid thing. I mean, I'll just say this also about the IAEA. First of all, the IAEA would be able to determine within 24 hours of this detonation, if they investigated, whether or not it was Russian or Ukrainian, because every nuclear particle, is derived from some sort of man-made activity, usually in a nuclear reactor. And every reactor has a unique signature. So you can trace each radioactive material back to a specific reactor and determine what its source was. So the Ukrainians think they're going to fool people into thinking Russia did it. Isn't going to happen. But here's the last thing. The last time we had a chief inspector from the IAEA from Italy was Maurizio Zaffarero in Iraq. He was responsible for overseeing the Iraqi safeguards program. Iraq hid a nuclear bombs program from him. I'm an inspector who's gone in to do the kind of inspections that this guy's getting ready to do. You just announced your intent to go to a facility, idiot. You got their permission. And you think if they were guilty of this, that they aren't cleaning it up? You have cameras in place. You have satellites in place. When are you going to get there? You honest to God think you're going to find something? Are you trained to do forensics? You don't have people like me working for you, idiot. You're going to go in there and either confirm that nothing happened because nothing was happened, or you're going to confirm that nothing happened because the Ukrainians pulled the wool over your collective stupid Italian eyes. Excuse me for picking on Italy, but they don't have a good track record in terms of holding nations to account when it comes to cheating on their non-proliferation treaty obligations.
Hey, we're going to see you in Miami, West Palm Beach, Denver, Palm Springs, Austin, Burbank. That's right, the Saturday after Thanksgiving here in Burbank, and lots of dates in Los Angeles in December. Go to jimmydorecomedy.com for a link for all our tickets and join our premium program when you go there too.